thing I want to do is I want to go over, you guys should have done these 3 problems on this page. So go to that page, find those problems. We're going to go through this and make sure that you did this one correctly. And then move on. What is your A value on this guy? 1. Is this parabola going to open up or down? And what are my x-intercepts? -2, 0, and 6, 0. Good. So I'm going to put a point there and a point here. Axis of symmetry. So in order to do that, I need to find my vertex, my x value of my vertex. How do I find my x value of my vertex? So all these should be done. What did you guys get for your vertex x value? Yeah. You can turn off the lights if you want. What's my x value of the vertex? Yeah. Yeah. 2. How do we find our x value of the vertex, guys? No, how did I find this 2? Thank you. You're just finding an average of your x values because the vertex is always going to be directly in the center. So you add those. -2 plus 6 is 4, and then you divide by 2. Just like finding an average. So 2 is in between -2 and 6. So now to find my, so that is your axis of symmetry also. So x equals 2. To find my y value of the vertex, I plug in 2. What's 2 plus 2, guys? And then what's 2 minus 6? What's 4 times -4? Times -16. So we're over 2 down, way far down here somewhere. Let's just go somewhere around here. Y-intercept is where the or the x value is what? 0. So what's 0 plus 2? And 0 minus 6? And then what's 2 times -6? So my y value is somewhere right around here. And then they just want an additional point. So we've had 0, we've had 2, we've had -2, we've had 6. Let's try -1. This may not be the point that you chose. You may not have chosen a point because we have lots of points there, but let's try this. What's -1 plus 2? How much? 1. Times, what's -1 minus 6? No? -7. -7 times 1 is just -7. So I'm back 1 down 7. I could even mirror image that point over here. So this is what my parabola should look like. So that, along with these 2 and the one on front, should be completed in your packet. Okay? Go to the next page. Real quick, I want you to find your y-intercepts and your vertex. Just those 2 things. Just your y-intercepts and your x-intercepts and your vertex. So on this one, find your x-intercepts and your vertex real quick. Okay. What are my x-intercepts? 1, 0. Good. And what's my other one? Good. Okay, now I need to find my vertex. So how do I find my vertex? How do I find the x value first off? Good. You take your 2 x-intercepts, you add them, divide by 2. So what's 1 plus -3? And what's -2 divided by -2? Sorry, divide by +2. So my x value at my vertex is -1. So how do I find my y value? Yep. What's -1 minus 1? If I'm back when I go back another one, I am -2. And then what's -1 plus 3? Good. So really what I'm doing here is 4 times -2 times +2. What's 4 times -2 times +2? negative 16. So I have a point at 1, 0, negative 1, 2, 3, 0, and then this point at negative 1 down. I think that's probably 10 right there, so 16. Let's find one more point. What x value would be a good x value to find one more point with? So we know our problem is going to do something like this, right? Is there an x value that we haven't used yet to find a point with? So if I create a table of what I have a point at 1, 0, I have a point at negative 1, negative 16, and I have a point at negative 3, 0. Is there an x value in between those that I could use? I already have negative 1. Is there an x value in between these that I could use, guys? 0, thank you. 0. Let's plug in 0. What's 0 minus 1? What's 0 plus 3? So now we do 4 times negative 1 times 3. What's 4 times negative 1 times 3? If you can't do that in your head, you should be able to do that in your head, guys. Come on. Thank you. Negative 12. So 0, negative 12 is right about here. So now I can draw my parabola. All right, try number 2. Find the x-intercepts, find the vertex, possibly find one more point, and graph it. So do all of that with number 2. What are my 2 x-intercepts here, guys? Good. Negative 1, 0, and 5, 0. So I'm going to plot those. Okay, my vertex is at, how do I find it? So that gives me an x value of, perfect, plug it in. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 minus 5 is negative 3, and then I'm going to multiply that by the negative 3 out front. So what's negative 3 times negative 3? Perfect, 27. That is really tall, right? Way up here. So let's go ahead and do another point. A good point on this would be 0 again. So we're going to do 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 to that equation above. Go ahead and plug in 0 into your calculator if you didn't already do that, and tell me what the output for y would be. 15. So I think this is 10, so 15 somewhere right in here. And then if I mirror image that point, it'd be right over here. Should this be going down? My quick check. Should this be going down? How do I, and yeah. So how do I know it should be going down? Someone new. So tell me, how do I know it should be going down? My a value is negative. Perfect. Okay. What I want for you to do right now is I want for you to complete 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to do that. When you are done, I need for you to bring it up to me and show me, and then we're going to go on from there. So about 10 minutes to complete 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to do 3 together. So in the past, you set this equal to 0 and this equal to 0. We're still going to do that. We're going to set 2x plus 4 equal to 0 to solve for x. What do I do first? Subtract 4, so I get 2x equals negative 4. And then what do I do? Yep, so I get x equals how much? Negative 2. So one of your x-intercepts is at negative 2, 0. Do the same with the other one. Set 3x plus 3 equal to 0. What do you do first on that guy? Subtract 3 from both sides, so I get 3x equals negative 3. And now what do I do? Yep, so I get x equals negative 1, so negative 1, 0 is the point. Should this parabola be going up or down? Up. Okay, so negative 2, 0, negative 1, 0. Find my vertex. How do I find my vertex? Negative 2 plus negative 1 divided by 2, which gives me what? Hey guys, everyone should have a calculator sitting on your desk so you can enter this stuff in. You shouldn't be waiting on anyone else to answer for you. You should be able to enter these these numbers into your calculator. Thank you. So this vertex is at negative 1.5. Then you're going to plug that negative 1.5 in to find your answer up here. So I'm going to stop right there. You're going to do number 3. Number 4, little clue on number 4. 1/5 is the same thing as 0.2 if you want to put in the decimal amount whenever you put it into your calculator. And number 5, be careful because it's x minus 6, or 6 minus x, which is the same thing as negative x plus 6 if you want to look at it like that way. Okay? All right, go ahead and now finish 3, 4, and 5. When you graph number 3, this is what it should be. This is a negative, the vertex is at negative 1.5, negative 1.5, and it looks something similar to this. Okay? We already went over those x-intercepts. On number 4, what happens is your vertex and your x-intercepts are all the same, 1 point. And that point is at 3, 0. So then I chose 0 to plug in for x, and I found a y value is like 1.8-ish, right around that. And then I mirror imaged, and it went up. So this one's going to be a wider one with just 1 point at the x-intercept. This last one is super duper duper skinny, and it's way far up. So you wouldn't be able to go by 1s on this. You'd have to go by like 10s or 20s or something like that and go down. If I look at this equation, let's say I had y equals x minus 1 and 2x plus 4. The question was asked, well, why is my x-intercept here at just 1? Why is it the opposite of this? Cameron, I'm answering your question. Why is my x-intercept the opposite of this? Because if you remember, we always set this equal, both of those things equal to 0. Well, if you only have an x with a number, to get x by itself, what do I do here? How do I get x by itself? You add 1, so x equals 1, the opposite of that. So that's the reason why. Here, I'm still getting x by itself by solving my equation. I subtract 4 on both sides, so I get 2x equals negative 4. Divide by 2, so x equals negative 2. So the reason you're getting the opposite on simple ones that look like this is because you're setting it equal to 0 and having to move it away from the x. So that's how you find your x-intercepts, right? And then you average those to find your vertex. Okay? I am going to grade